Have you ever heard of a war started because of a dog? Or a full-blown military operation lost to a bunch of birds? It sounds like a joke, but it's not. These are real moments in history. Wars fought not for power, not for gold, but for cake, or ears, or buckets. Today, we dive into 10 of the most bizarre wars the world has ever seen. Strange, wild, and absolutely true. Stay with me, because you won't believe what you're about to hear. Number 1. The War of the Stray Dog. It's 1925. Greece and Bulgaria. Tensions are already high. The border is a fragile line. A Greek soldier. A loyal dog. The dog runs across that tense border into Bulgaria. The soldier follows. But the Bulgarians? They see an enemy crossing their line. They shoot. And just like that, one soldier's death triggers an invasion. Greek troops storm the border. Shots echo through the mountains. All because of a dog. It took the League of Nations to finally step in and say, enough. This wasn't a war about territory. It was about pride and a runaway pet. Now, number 2. The Emu War. It's 1932. Western Australia. Farmers are desperate. Crops are ruined. And the culprits? Emus. Not a few. Thousands. So, the government does what seems logical. They call in soldiers with machine guns. Their mission? Destroy the birds. But the emus, they're faster, smarter, scattered. The soldiers chase them through dusty fields, fire thousands of rounds, and barely hit anything. After weeks of humiliation, the army retreats. The birds? They win. And to this day, the Emu War remains the only conflict where humans declared war on animals and lost. Number 3. The Pastry War. France. Mexico. 1838. One French pastry chef claims Mexican soldiers destroyed his bakery during a riot. He wants money. Mexico shrugs it off. But France? France sends warships, bombards the Mexican coastline, demands payment. This war was real. People died. Cities burned. And it all started because of a ruined dessert. Eventually, Mexico paid. The baker got his money. And history got one of its weirdest battles. Number 4. The War of the Oaken Bucket. Italy. 1325. Medina and Bologna, two rival cities. Medina raids Bologna and on the way out, steals a wooden bucket. Yes, a simple wooden bucket. Bologna demands it back. Medina refuses. And that's all it takes. War erupts. Tens of thousands of soldiers march. Clash. Die. Over a bucket. The war ends. Medina wins. And to this day, the bucket sits proudly in a museum. Guarded. Celebrated. Because some things apparently are worth dying for. Number 5. The War of Jenkins Ear. A British captain named Robert Jenkins stands before Parliament. He's holding a glass jar. Inside it, his severed ear. He says Spanish soldiers attacked his ship and cut it off years ago. Now he wants revenge. The British government listens. And they're angry. They declare war. Yes, a war that lasts 9 years, all because of an ear in a jar. Number 6. The Football War. El Salvador and Honduras are already on edge. Tensions over land, people, politics. But when their national football teams meet for a World Cup qualifying match, everything explodes. After the third and final match, chaos breaks loose. Riots, violence, rage. Within hours, soldiers are crossing borders. Planes are dropping bombs. It becomes a full-scale war. And even though peace returns weeks later, the scars remain. This wasn't really about football. It was just the match that lit the fuse. Number 7. The War of the Whiskers. England versus France. 1328. When the French king dies without an heir, England's king, Edward III, says, "I'm next in line." France disagrees. And so begins the 100 Years' War. But mixed in with the politics and dynasties were petty insults, mocked fashion, even disagreements over facial hair. Royal pride drove the war just as much as royal blood. Sometimes kings are just spoiled kids with crowns. Number 8. The Pig War. The island of San Juan between Canada and the U.S. A British settler owns a pig. It escapes, wanders into an American farmer's garden, and eats his potatoes. The farmer shoots the pig. The settler demands compensation. The American refuses. So what happens? Both nations send troops. They stare at each other, guns ready, over one pig. For months, soldiers camp across from each other, waiting. But no one fires. Eventually, cooler heads prevail. And the only casualty? That poor, hungry pig. Number 9. The War of the Golden Stool. Ghana. To the Ashanti people, the Golden Stool isn't just a throne. It holds the soul of their nation, their identity, their past. But then, a British official demands to sit on it. To the Ashanti, this is blasphemy. Insulted, they rise. They fight. They defend what matters most. It wasn't just war. It was spiritual survival. And while the British may have claimed victory, they never understood the meaning of what they tried to conquer. And finally, number 10. The War of the 335 Years. This one's strange and quiet. In 1651, during the English Civil War, the Dutch declare war on the tiny Isles of Scilly, off the coast of Cornwall. Then they forget. No fighting. No battles. Just silence. For centuries. Until someone in 1986 finds the declaration and says, "Hey, aren't we still at war?" So they signed a peace treaty. No bloodshed. No noise. Just a war that lasted over 3 centuries without a single shot. The politest war in history. So, what do all these stories tell us? That history is messy. Sometimes tragic. Sometimes absurd. But always human. We laugh now. But every war, no matter how ridiculous, left behind scars. And people. And stories. Maybe they teach us something. Maybe they just make us wonder. Either way, they're real. And they happened. Which one shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because, trust me, history? It's a lot weirder than you think. We'll see you in the next one.